2 weeks into the Major League Baseball season, here's a look at Matt Snyder's Power Rankings. Atop the Power Rankings, the two teams atop the NL West, the Dodgers and Giants, both sitting at 7-2, both on nice winning streaks as well. Dodgers on a 6-game winning streak, Giants on a 5-game winning streak. Mets coming in at number 3 atop the NL East. Look, that's their division to win. This is the year for the Mets to win that division. And the Blue Jays atop the AL East, off to a 6-4 start. Let's welcome in the aforementioned CBS Sports MLB writer Matt Snyder. Matt, Dodgers atop your power rankings complete a 4-game sweep of the Reds this weekend, outscoring Cincy 26-7. Dodgers, the hottest team in baseball, on a 6-game winning streak. What has stood out to you about LA's hot start?
It's how much they're pulverizing the opponent right now. It's look, they lost 2 of 3 to Colorado to start the season. That's not that abnormal. The Rockies are actually really good at home. Coors Field's a really weird place for the opponents to play. But then the Dodgers went to Minnesota, and it seems like everything clicked at once. It kind of culminated in Minnesota with the Clayton Kershaw gem, the 7 innings, perfect innings. And then all the discussion after that almost seems like in the middle of that, we kind of lost in the shuffle, that it looks like the offense kind of woke up. They hit 3 home runs in a row in the middle of Kershaw's bid for perfection. They went back home. The bats just kept going. They had an 8th inning explosion on Thursday night. It continued throughout the weekend. Now, they did just bludgeon the Reds, and the Reds look like one of the worst teams in baseball. But I think it was a combination there. I think it was both the Reds not being very good and the Dodgers being so good. And, look, Cody Bellinger looked so lost for most of last year. He was hurt. Early in spring training, he struck out something like 12 times in his first 18 at-bats. There were worries about him. He looks like he has a little bit kind of going right now. Not as good as he can, not like his MVP season, but he looks like he's going a little bit, and he's like their 8-hole hitter. That's just how much talent they have.
Dodgers and Giants, meantime, picking up right where they left off last season, battling atop the division, both 7-2 to start the year. Let's get your winners and losers following week 2 of the season. Start with your biggest winners.
Well, the biggest winner, I think, was the Giants, other than the Dodgers, which it's not that surprising to see the Dodgers get back up to the top. But other than them, the Giants, there were a lot of questions about the Giants coming into the year, and I think rightfully so. A lot of last season, it was like, how are they doing this? This doesn't make sense. They don't seem like they have as much talent as some of these other 90-win teams, and they went out and they won 107 games. And then Buster Posey retired. They didn't re-sign Chris Bryant. There was some turnover in the pitching staff. It kind of looked like, all right, are they really going to do this again? So far, it looks like, yes, they are. They have something going there, like internal scouting, something in the front office. It looks like they really bring out the best in the players on the team. Here, another good example, Carlos Rodon, 21 strikeouts in 12 innings right now. It just looks like they get the best version of every single player. It's amazing. They're the biggest winner for me in this week.
Who else comes in as one of your biggest winners?
Well, I think you got to go Mets as well. To start 7-3, especially when Jacob deGrom went down in spring training. Then Max Scherzer, they had to push him back so he couldn't go opening day. There were some worries there. It looked like maybe they're not going to have the rotation depth we thought they were going to have. Well, they're 7-3 right now, and really, they could be 10-0. I mean, they had 2 blown games that were right there for the taking. Their loss against the Diamondbacks kind of could have gone either way. So they're 7-3 and nearly 10-0. I'd say that's a pretty good start to the Buck Showalter administration there in Queens.
Yeah, Mets looking to win the division, the NL East, for the first time since 2015. Got to the World Series that year. They lost the World Series, but perhaps this is the year they get back there and win it. Art, how about your losers, the teams that are struggling to get out of the gate here?
Well, it's interesting. They were my number 1 last week almost by default. They were the only 3-0 team. But I look at the Rays, and they started 3-0, but that was only against the Orioles, and that was at home. They went out and they lost 5 of their next 6 games, and they lost 3 or 4 at home to the A's, who look like they're in a full-on rebuild. I mean, they traded Sean Manaea right before the season started. They traded Matt Chapman. They traded Matt Olson. They go into Tampa Bay and win 3 or 4. If you're the Rays, that's not supposed to happen. You're looking to compete for the AL East title with teams like the Blue Jays, who are going pretty good right now. The Yankees, Red Sox had a good week. Not a very good week for the Rays on that front. Also, though, in the same division, the Yankees just went into Baltimore and lost 2 of 3. Took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox, so you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Split 4 games against the Blue Jays at home, which split's not great. You'd like to say let's take 3 or 4 at home, but the Blue Jays are really good. if they go into Baltimore and let's say they sweep the Orioles, all of a sudden they have one of the best records in baseball, take 2 of 3, or tied for first place with the Blue Jays. Instead, they lose 2 of 3 to the Orioles. That's a rough weekend for the Yankees. So Yankees and Rays, not very good week.
Matt Snyder with his power rankings and winners and losers. Always a winner here for us on CBS Sports HQ. Matt, thanks. Who's going to be the biggest winner? Well, the Dodgers are the favorites to win the World Series at plus 500, followed by the Blue Jays at plus 850. The Mets are at plus 1200. I don't like that. I like those odds, though. Like, if you like the Mets, jump on that at plus 1200. I'm just saying. I mean, that's a good ball club. Dodgers are really, really good. But that could be the NLCS right there. Dodgers-Mets. We'll see about it. Dodgers right now, favorites to win the World Series, and they are the team to beat, according to Matt Snyder.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.